So I had a great idea. A wonderful idea, you might add. Mr. Ryan Howard, he's not been in MLB for the last few years that I can remember personally. He's one of my favorite first basemen ever. So since he's not in Diamond Dynasty, I figured why not make him? And of course, my player model might not be the greatest. It's very hard for me to understand what the heck they're talking about, but nonetheless, I tried to get his batting stance pretty accurate and his accessories is accurate. But anyways, of course, we picked Power Howard.
Just days before
And we're gonna enter in the Scout Day and just do what we do best. Decided to play on Legend just to challenge myself to get ready for when I do decide to play Diamond Dynasty a little bit farther down the road. Just because there's not very many players in right now. Seems very, very repetitive, the players that they do have. But that's always kind of how they make it. They make really, really good players in the beginning, and these players are basically endgame. So I'm just waiting till they add some more people and teams change up a little bit more, and I'll get more interested into it as I go. But for now, I'm just working on hitting and challenging myself to be basically get ready to be as good as I possibly can. So I have taken off the PCI and I have literally 3 little dots that I'm trying to line the ball up with, but I'm in for a challenge and I love a challenge, and that's why I'm swinging away and trying to get my timing down now. There's a lot on my mind recently. There's a lot on my mind. Mostly about the protests over George Floyd's death. It was a very scary time. Who is here to protect us? I couldn't say the police are here. I couldn't say the police are here to protect us. Who do you call when there's an issue? I never understood the Second Amendment until now. Because I know damn well I would never call the police. I couldn't do that. I might end up actually getting somebody killed. It's really scary. It's really scary, honestly. It's terrifying. The people who are supposed to protect us are murdering our society? Innocent people? Unarmed people? Just can't believe it. I can't believe it. I can't get over the fact that these people who have sworn to protect us are killing innocent citizens. It's just outrageous to me. I think that we should get rid of the entire police system. The whole system. In fact, even government too. All government. Live in an anarchy. I wonder what that would be like. No government, no control, no power. Everybody for themselves. I think people innately care for each other. That's what I see with these protests. People care for one another so much that pure outrage has happened. Riots. And finally, people are listening to the message, the real message this time. Not like the protests, not like the NFL protests, where the message was misconstrued and completely away from the real point that was trying to be made of police brutality. Now people listen. And I'm glad that there are people to listen. And we learn now that people still are on the wrong side. The side of racism. But that's okay. Is it? Can people change? How fast can people change? If you're older, can you change? How do we go about rebuilding society? crazy times, crazy times. Scary times, man. But I truly think a great experiment would be anarchy. How would people react? My mom, I told her that about my idea of anarchy. Told her it's a society, there shouldn't be any prison. She freaked out immediately. She went crazy. Her biggest fear, though, was prison. What do people do if they're bad? See, that was her first thought. Bad people. Protection. Who would protect you? It's interesting, honestly. She's 50s. And she immediately thought of protection, whereas I just thought that we would all care for each other immediately. And take care of each other, work for the common good. But she sees a different side of the world. An evil side. And it's a good point to bring up. In a world with no power, how do people pay for consequences? What prevents people from going on a rampage, a violent rampage, a fatal rampage? It's a great point, but I have to think of now. What happens to these people now? Is prison, the prison system, the jail system, are those systems beneficial? And to whom? Because to me, I don't see any prisoners coming out of prison ready for the world. All they know is prison. All they know is jail. All they know is the cell, the bars. They don't know anything else. And that's why most people end up right back into it. They always say it's about rehabilitation, but really to me it's about hiding. It's about hiding the bad. I don't think the government really does care about our citizens. The government even kills its own citizens, whether it be police brutality or the death penalty. Should the government be able to kill its own people? I don't think so. Scary times. Scary times. I just hope there's change. But what change is acceptable? Anarchy, I'm telling you, it might be good. I think it could do some good. I think it would definitely be worth an experiment at least. I'm gonna do a lot of research on this because I really want to know. Because I truly do think that people will care for other peoples, protect other peoples. At least better than the police will. That's for sure.